You say having resistance or trying to change our part of the mind by another part of the mind is the problem, is the main problem. Part of the mind thinks there's another part of the mind which it doesn't like or which is not happy, is sad. So it tries to struggle to change the other part of the mind. Now, is there any way we can see this? See this in the sense, like we all have blind spots, but we don't know we have blind spot. For example, even while driving a car or even with our eyes, we have blind spots. So, is there any way you can show some light or make us, by giving more examples, that it is impossible for the mind to control another part of the mind? We always think, I can, if I don't like the car or this house, I can repaint it. If I don't like my car, I can buy another car. If I don't like my shirt, I can buy another shirt. In the outside world. But inside world, similarly, I think if I have a bad thought, if I have a thought which I don't like, then I also think it is possible to change, but you say it is impossible to change. Like, for example, if somebody asks you to lift a 500 kg weight, it is impossible to lift, I know. But here, I do not know that it is impossible to change one part of the mind by another part. So can you give us more examples for us to easily and clearly see that it is impossible for one part of the mind to control another part of the mind?
So here, not impossible, instead of using the word impossibility, that is the unnecessary work. For example, you are writing your name in the ground or paper with some spelling mistake. You have to correct. But if you write your name upon the water with some spelling mistake, you need to correct the spelling mistake. It will go away naturally. So you have to understand. So whatever you are having in your mind, moment by moment it is going away. It is gone away. So if you understand, there is no necessity for yourself to correct anything psychologically. It is always what is happening written in the water. It is moment by moment it dissolves itself. So we think as if it is not dissolved, we think it is written in the paper, it is written in the blackboard, then only we are manually doing some work. So the manual work is not needed. Naturally it will be away without your work. So you have to understand no work is needed. So this understanding will help. But in spite of your understanding, you may unconsciously fight with yourself. So let it be unconscious fight. But don't do it consciously. That alone is the main idea. So, for example, whenever you are having some fear or sorrow, naturally we want to be free from that. That is a fight within yourself. But let it be unconsciously. But consciously, but in the next moment you will conscious of your unconscious fight. When you conscious of your unconscious fight, then you can understand there is no necessity to correct yourself. So that the understanding will operate. So if you know no work is needed and you unnecessarily is trying to correct yourself, unnecessarily correcting the spelling mistake of the water, then that is not necessary.
Okay. I understand the example I have, that it is the quality of water to have the waves continuously, whatever, right? I understand the example. Can you give us one more example of the quality of the mind where it is impossible to fix the happiness? It will keep coming, it is not under our control, it is unnecessary to try to change it. Can you give one more example?
Each and every emotion is only the momentary expression. That is the nature of the mind. No expression is more than a fraction of a second. That is the nature of the mind. So that is the science. It is not an example. It is the science of the mind. Then each and every emotion it must have a limited time. So each and every moment, if it has to come again and again, the circumstances may demand. So with the demand of the circumstances alone, you may have a similar emotion again and again. So otherwise, whatever comes disappear naturally. So that is the science behind that. So all emotion is momentary. But when you justify some of your emotion and you keep life to that emotion, but we think the emotion comes is constantly existing. But it is not existing for itself. We are giving life to that only because of justification of the situation, justification of your stand. For example, you don't like a situation and you have some anger or sorrow within your mind. Then thereby what we are doing is that you find fault with the situation, find fault with the other people. That then we are finding fault with the other people. Then naturally you induce some emotion within yourself. So it is then you are consciously giving some inducement. So whenever you are consciously inducing some emotion within yourself, then it will be continuously flowing like this. So it is your conscious part, your conscious work with related to some situation, and that will be like this. But if it so here, but your approach to the situation. For example, somebody misbehaved with you, and you have some anger. So you justify the anger. So you take the anger in your hand and you think that the other person is not correct. I have to teach some lesson. I have to make the situation correct. The way you take the situation in your hand. So when you take the situation in your hand, so necessary emotion you must have. So you cause the emotion for yourself. So in the first instant it comes unconsciously. But afterwards you consciously create the emotion by itself. So when you consciously create the emotion by itself, then you cannot, either you can change the situation, change the approach, then only the emotion will go away from you.
But so whenever it brings emotion also. Like just sitting here, I might think about a friend who was insulted me. The thought will come, then anger will come, like unhappiness will come. So this will come.
But when this come like this, so immediately you take your intellect take the charge of the emotion, and you remind with the fact he has insulted you like this.
Right.
Then you once again you consciously thinking whenever you saw him again.
Right.
I will teach him a lesson. If you think like that, the emotion will be accumulating.
Right.
So if you, but here your decision gives some strength to the emotion. Right. If you do not involve such kind of decision like this, the emotion comes and comes. What the emotion came, it will go away naturally. Okay. If you do not, but otherwise, if you have an idea that whenever I see him again, I will show some emotion, I'm going to fight with him when I saw him again. If you think like that, the thinking will create more emotion.
Right.
So here what you have to do? So whenever you are thinking like that, the thinking will create some emotion because this is happening consciously.
Right.
But at the same time, if you decide, if you are not thinking like that, the very moment you have the thought about his insulting, then you will have some anger upon him. But you don't take any decision to have some revenge upon him. Whatever the emotion came will go away naturally. But whenever you give some renewal by thinking like that, you are renewing the emotion itself. So your conscious action involved here.
So does it also means that I should be without any emotions in my relationship?
So here, whatever it be, either if you select that you have to if you pay some revenge upon him, the very decision to take some revenge upon him creates some energy. So you will have some energy. Whenever you take some energy, you will naturally create some energy within yourself. Whenever you decide like this, some energy will come. So either you have to solve in some other way. Doesn't matter. We have to forget that. Anyway, you have to solve in physical manner also. You have to come to a decision, come to a stand. We need not do anything about him. Right. Then only you will not have any idea to have the emotion like this.
Okay. So I have to make a conscious intellectual decision. And I end it. That, okay, he has insulted me, okay, it is done. Now I'll not bother about it, I'll not remember about it, it is over.
No. So if you take a decision that you have to do something against him, so the very decision will create some energy in the form of some anger or anything.
Is it like same case with happiness also? Like if I have another friend, meeting makes me happy. So if the thought comes, I'm happy. So this also I should not continue the imaginary happiness.
So everything in the same rule, but if you repeatedly like this, it will also not lose its the effect. But thinking a happy thing will not be always happy. It will again and again, if you think the same thing, it will also create some boredom. Sometimes it may create happiness, sometimes it creates boredom itself.